Okay, class. This is a bit of an example test for you to use with your essays to see whether or not your thesis and topic sentences are on point and whether or not you need transitions. Okay, so what I have here is the second example that's in our resources module, which you've already looked at. And I'm just going to show you this test really quick. It's super easy, and I think it's very effective for making sure that you have things correct. So, what you do is you pull out just the last sentence of the first paragraph. So, I'm going to delete, okay, everything but the last sentence of the first paragraph here. So, we'll pull that out. I say pull out the last sentence because that's more important than looking for your thesis, because your thesis may not be where it should be. Okay, so what I suggest always is take the last sentence, because that will tell you if your thesis is in the correct spot. Now, if you look at this sentence here and it is not what you think your thesis is supposed to be, and it does not contain all of the important words that are in your topic, then you need to make sure that you fix it, right? But we pull that last sentence of the first paragraph out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to ignore everything after the we're going to ignore everything after the we're going to ignore everything after the conclusion here. So I'm going to just delete everything but the conclusion here. Everything after the conclusion here. So I've deleted the conclusion and we're excited. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything except the remaining first sentences of these remaining paragraphs. So I'm just going to quickly do that. It's the first sentence of each paragraph, except for the intro and the conclusion. Okay, the intro, you take out the last sentence, and the conclusion, you ignore. So let me get this deleted. Okay, so we take out just those first sentences. Okay, so I've got the first sentence of the first body paragraph, and then I'm taking the first sentence of the second body paragraph. So I'm going to delete the rest of that. I'm going to delete the rest of that paragraph. Okay, which will take me to the first sentence of the last body paragraph. Okay. So I now have just the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of every other paragraph except the conclusion. Right? All I got to do is just delete the rest of this here. This touchscreen tablet is being a bit of a pain. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. All right. So now I have the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of every other paragraph except the conclusion. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to make these all one paragraph. Okay? And this is just a test. So you don't want to actually make any changes to your essay like this, but you can use this. You could copy paste these sentences so that you don't delete anything from your draft. You can copy paste these sentences into another file or whatever to do this test. And basically, what it is that if you have everything on point, this should be a coherent paragraph. So what you want to do is you want to look at where it's not coherent and where it needs transitions. So you can tell if you're jumping around or if you're not connecting things properly because it won't sound right in a paragraph like this. So if you have everything hanging together, right? If you have the bones of your essay all properly connected, this should make a nice paragraph. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at what you get and see what could be changed. For example, I look at this and I say, I think there's a transition needed before creative here. So I would put like a first of all. Okay. Something like that. So I would maybe put a transition here. And I noticed that because look, I have transitions on the other sentences. I also noticed this doesn't mention funding, but that's something that would tell me this is not my thesis. You have to make sure your thesis is on point first before you do this test, because if your thesis is not on point, then it's impossible to tell if your topic sentences are on point. So do make sure that your thesis is on point first. Your thesis should contain the mention of art education and the mention of the funding of art education. And so it should contain the phrases art education and funding. This does not. So I can see that it's not really connected to the topic of our essay topic as well as it could be. So you want to do these tests. You want to make sure that you have the proper thesis by making sure that it says art education and funding in some place in the sentence. And you also want to do this test to make sure that after you've gotten your thesis correct, that you have your topic sentences on point and properly connected to your thesis. This will help you figure out if your topic sentences are jumping around or disconnected, and it will also help you see where you need transitions for extra connection and flow. So this is just an example of what you can do to test. This is a strategy for revising and organizing and taking care of your paper and making sure that it's all on point. Okay? So that's it for now, and I will be back with more on this probably next week, okay, as we start work on Essay 2. Okay? That's it for now. Bye.